The rinse. Will Electra keep Dylan's shocking secret after November 25th BNB? On The Bold and the Beautiful, Tuesday, November 25, 2025, Electra gets a surprise visit from Dylan. She had something to confess about the night that Luna died. Key takeaways. Electra returns to work. She wants to put her mind off the mysterious text messages she's been getting lately. Dylan surprised Electra at the office with a confession. Back to work. Will, Crew Morrow, and Electra, Linnea Grace, wanted to get back to work. They wanted to keep their minds on something else rather than Luna's, Lisa Yamada, crimes and death. However, they were still perplexed by the text message from the driver who had run over Luna. The last thing that Electra needed was someone else harassing her. Will advised her to keep it out of her mind since the police deemed it an accident. Electra told Will that she would heed his advice. Will left the office to attend to other tasks. Then, Dylan, Sydney Bullock, interrupted Electra while she was working. Electra was ecstatic to see her old friend again. She wanted to know what brought her to Forrester. Dylan tried to sweeten her up with a coffee. She recalled the old times when they would meet up for coffee. Electra told Dylan that she's already had a bad day, but she's happy to know that Luna is out of their lives. Dylan's new life. Dylan looked like something was eating away at her. She told Electra that she got a new phone number. She apologized for not reaching out sooner. Electra was in awe over Dylan changing her life around and focusing on herself. Luna manipulated Dylan and made her think she was an origami teacher named Ms. Sunshine. Dylan can't imagine what would have happened if Luna had killed Steffi, Jacqueline McInnes would. She shuddered at the thought. But what she needed right now is a friend. Electra could tell something was wrong with her friend. However, Dylan claimed she turned a new leaf by living a peaceful life and working with children. This is my confession. Yet she had something to confess. Dylan didn't want Electra to think differently of her after this. She explained that she was driving along the beach the other night. Out of nowhere, someone ran into the road. Dylan admitted that it was an accident. The police already knew. She spoke with them already. Electra was in shock as she asked, "You ran over Luna?" Then she assured Dylan that they would take on this burden together. But will Electra stick to her word? Or will she share this information with Will? With Luna gone, what will challenge Electra and Will's relationship next? The police already know, but they're not willing to release the name of the driver. What could happen if Dylan's secret is exposed? Electra Forrester had never felt the chill of the Forrester mansion quite like this. It was late, far later than anyone should have been awake, and yet the entire house hummed with a kind of electric tension, the sort of charge that only comes after a day detonates into a disaster. November 25th had been that kind of day. She stood alone in the dim hallway, still wearing the satin gown she'd modeled earlier at the preview showing. The hem brushed her ankles, whispering secrets she wished she could ignore. But nothing tonight could drown out the words she had heard only hours ago, the words Dylan Spencer had begged her to keep buried. Electra closed her eyes, but the memory of his trembling voice replayed in merciless detail. "I didn't mean for it to happen. Electra, please. No one can know." And then the truth, the terrible, impossible truth, had spilled out. A truth that could burn through families, implode alliances, and change everything. She leaned against the wall, exhaled shakily, and tried to process the enormity of what she carried. A secret like that wasn't just a story. It was a detonator. One. The secret. Hours earlier, after the show, the backstage area buzzed with celebration. Designers toasted with champagne, interns raced around gathering samples, and reporters hovered like bees around the stars of the evening. Electra had slipped away to catch her breath. She'd been modeling since sunrise, navigating a storm of cameras and questions. That's when Dylan found her, wild-eyed and pale, looking like he'd just outrun a ghost. "Electra," he said, grabbing her wrist. "I need, please, just a minute." She had known Dylan since they were kids. Even then, he'd been dramatic to the point of absurdity, but this wasn't theatrical tension. This was real fear. She followed him into the design room, empty now, the mannequins standing like silent sentinels, and when he shut the door, she saw that his hands were shaking. "What happened?" she whispered. He swallowed hard. "I did something. Something bad." Her stomach knotted. Dylan Spencer was impulsive, passionate, and often careless, but he wasn't malicious. If he said something was bad, it meant catastrophic. He paced, ran a hand through his hair, then blurted, "It wasn't an accident." Electra stared. "Dylan, what are you talking about?" "What happened earlier with the rig," he said, voice cracking. "The fall, Electra, that wasn't an accident. I loosened the clamp." Her breath snagged. The lighting rig collapse had dominated the entire backstage area for hours. A designer had been injured, a broken leg, bruised ribs. Everyone chalked it up to faulty equipment, a freak malfunction. No one had even suspected sabotage. Electra couldn't finish the sentence. "Why would you do that?" "Dylan, someone could have." "I know," he burst, anguish ripping through every syllable. "I wasn't trying to hurt anyone. I just wanted to ruin Finn's moment. He was supposed to do the post-show walkthrough, and I thought maybe if something small happened, he'd look incompetent and my dad would take my ideas more seriously. I swear I didn't expect anyone to be under it." Electra's pulse thudded hard in her ears. Sabotage. In the Forrester studio. 2. The weight of keeping quiet. Now midnight approached, and Electra felt like she was carrying an anchor inside her chest. She moved through the mansion in slow motion, every step an argument with herself. She shouldn't hold this secret. She couldn't betray someone she'd known her whole life. She shouldn't cover up sabotage. She couldn't destroy Dylan's future. Her thoughts spiraled until she slipped into the living room, collapsing onto the velvet couch. The room smelled faintly of pine and orchids, Steffi's favorite combination. What would Steffi think if she knew? Electra could practically hear her voice, strong, uncompromising, moral to the bone. Covering for Dylan isn't protecting him. It's enabling him. If only telling the truth didn't feel like a betrayal. Just as she pressed her palms to her face, a soft rustling made her look up. Someone stood in the doorway, tall, broad-shouldered, wearing the kind of expression that could read anyone like an open book. Electra shook her head too fast, hair whipping. Long day. The show. The accident. Ridge sighed, rubbing his temples. "Yeah. Scared everyone half to death. The reports say it was equipment failure. But honestly, something about it isn't sitting right with me."